There's this amazing thing called you. It's amazing. There's this thing called you, and this thing called you is perfect, whole, and complete. This thing called you is love itself. There's this thing called you that the divine, that life itself loved and wanted to see so much on this plane of existence that it wrapped itself in itself and called it you. That's who and what you are. You are that thing called you. My name is Rodney McKenzie and you're watching More Life Video Blog, and I'm talking to you today about that exact same thing, about that thing called you, the thing in truth that you are. Sometimes in my life, I thought that I was busted. A breakup happens and I thought that I was unlovable. I mean, a job left, a job ended, and I thought that I wasn't worthy of employment. I mean, sometimes I think, and maybe it's just me, sometimes I believe that I have done something wrong. Sometimes I believe that I am horrible. Sometimes I believe that I'm just jacked up. But there's this thing called me. There's this thing called you that is truly perfect, whole, and complete. And that thing called you doesn't look outside of itself, to gauge its worthiness, to gauge who and what it is. So there's this thing called us in truth that knows and has always known that we are the divine itself, that we are life itself, that we are love itself. You don't believe me? Just take a breath. Just take a breath and ask yourself, who am I in truth? And listen for the voice of God. There's sometimes that I believe that I am what my bank account says I am. Sometimes I believe that when someone says something horrible about me, that is the truth of who and what I am. But there's this thing called me. There's this thing called you that knows the absolute truth of who and what we are. Sometimes in my life I think that I have to hide or I can't be the fullest expression of myself, but there's this thing called me. There's this thing called you that desires all of itself to be exposed, to be seen, to be shared with this world. See, the point of our lives, I believe, is to be the fullest expression of that thing called you. What I've discovered is that the point of this existence, the point of this earth experience, is for us to realize that we are the very thing itself. There's this thing called you. There's this thing called life. There's this thing called joy, which is the truth of you, that is being asked to be revealed today. Do we have the courage today to be that which we know ourselves to be? Do we have the courage today to abandon what we see, to abandon what the world says that we are, or Fox News says that we are, and begin to see ourselves as we have always known ourselves to be, perfect, whole, and complete? See, I dare us today, I dare myself today to remember who I am and to live from that place. I dare ourselves, I dare me today to remember that I am perfection made manifest. Love in form, peace in a beautiful black body. It's the truth of who and what I am. It's the truth of who and what you are. Today, reveal all of yourself and have a good time at it. And so it is, all right? Peace.